A tectonic shift just occurred in American jurisprudence, directly impacting how citizenship is understood and enacted across state lines. The Supreme Court has delivered a ruling that significantly curtails the ability of federal district courts to issue nationwide injunctions against presidential executive orders. This decision, handed down on June 27, 2025, has immediate and profound consequences for the executive order related to birthright citizenship. It means that the federal government can now proceed with enforcing President Trump's order, which aims to deny American citizenship documents, such as social security numbers and passports, to babies born in the United States on or after February 19, 2025, unless at least one biological parent is already a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. This includes situations where the biological mother is unlawfully present without legal status, or is in the U.S. with a temporary visa or permit, and the biological father is not a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. The landscape of birthright citizenship has instantly become a fragmented and complex puzzle, creating a deeply confusing reality for American families. While the Supreme Court's ruling permits the executive order to be enforced, it specifically applies only to the 28 states that had not previously secured injunctions blocking the policy. In a striking division, the order remains blocked in 22 states and the District of Columbia, thanks to successful legal challenges mounted earlier this year. This sets up a truly nonsensical and irrational scenario where the very definition of American citizenship for a newborn now hinges entirely on their precise location of birth within the nation's borders. The legal expert community has been quick to point out the inherent absurdity of this patchwork approach, highlighting the potential for immense practical difficulties and legal ambiguities that could ripple through countless families. It's a fundamental challenge to the uniformity one expects from federal law, transforming a previously straightforward matter into a geographic lottery with real financial stakes. For American citizens, this isn't just a legal abstraction, it's a direct imposition of uncertainty on their lives and financial planning. Imagine residing in a state where birthright citizenship remains fully protected, only to travel to a neighboring state where a different rule now applies. The legal status of your child and their future access to essential documents could be dramatically altered based on an accident of geography. This situation forces American families to navigate a bureaucratic minefield. Without a clear, consistent path to obtaining essential documents like a social security number or a U.S. passport, a child's entire financial future could be jeopardized. Consider a young adult, now 18, unable to secure a basic job, open a bank account, or apply for federal student aid for college because their birth certificate, valid in one state, is now deemed insufficient for federal purposes in another. Parents trying to establish a financial identity for their child or even access state-specific benefits that require a clear social security number will face unprecedented hurdles and potential denials. This isn't just about red tape. It's a direct assault on a child's ability to fully participate in the American economy, potentially costing families tens of thousands in lost opportunities and access to crucial financial instruments throughout a lifetime. The absence of a social security number means no legitimate employment, no tax filing, no access to government programs. Without a passport, international travel becomes impossible, limiting educational and employment opportunities abroad. For families, this translates into direct financial strain, increased costs for alternative identification, time off work to navigate complex bureaucratic processes, and potential loss of income due to restricted job markets for their children. The immediate implications extend to basic financial well-being and long-term security. Healthcare access, often tied to verifiable citizenship status, could become a significant financial burden as families struggle to enroll children in state-subsidized programs or even private insurance. Unexpected medical bills could be catastrophic for those relying on various state or federal benefits, such as housing assistance or food programs. Any disruption or denial due to citizenship ambiguity could have cascading effects on their household stability and budgeting. Moreover, this legal uncertainty places an undue financial burden on families to constantly be aware of state-specific legal nuances that, until now, were largely irrelevant to the fundamental right of birthright citizenship. Should a family move from a protected state to an affected one, or vice versa, the shift in legal standing for their child could lead to unforeseen legal fees, travel costs, and administrative delays as they try to reestablish or prove their child's rightful place in the nation's system. It introduces a layer of complexity to financial planning that few American families have ever had to consider, impacting everything from college savings to estate planning. The implied value of American citizenship, which includes the freedom of movement and the uniformity of rights across all states, is now fundamentally compromised by this legal division, forcing citizens to potentially budget for and endure legal challenges simply to affirm their child's identity. The stress and anxiety generated by such profound uncertainty can also have indirect financial costs, leading to lost work, increased healthcare expenditures for mental well-being, or hasty, poorly informed financial decisions made under pressure. This is about more than just legal status. It's about the very economic fabric of families. The Supreme Court's decision, critically, did not rule on the constitutionality of the Birthright Citizenship Executive Order itself. Instead, it was a procedural decision about the scope of judicial power to halt executive actions on a nationwide scale. This means the underlying legal fight over the constitutionality of denying birthright citizenship based on parental status is far from over. Multiple lawsuits challenging the executive order's fundamental legality continue to progress through the judicial system. The ultimate fate of this executive order, whether it will be entirely overturned or eventually enforced nationwide, will only be determined when these complex cases reach the Supreme Court again for a substantive ruling. Until then, American citizens in the 28 states affected face immediate challenges, while those in the 22 protected states and D.C. operate under a different set of rules. Governors and attorneys general in these 28 states will soon be announcing how they plan to implement this executive order and what specific birth certificate documentation will be provided to impacted babies. For Americans nationwide, staying informed about these ongoing legal developments and their precise state-level implications will be paramount to protecting their children's financial and legal standing. As always, stay informed, and we'll keep tracking these pivotal developments for you. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates on how these critical legal changes impact your financial future and personal freedom.